of course, it was always, well, no, I wouldn't say always, but more recently, it has been the police, what do they call it, a working hypothesis that Nicola Bulley was in the River Wire.
Yes, it was, and they made that very clear from one of the very earliest press conferences, and they said they had evidence to support that working hypothesis. I was quite critical back then because I felt it might have helped quell some of the speculation, the rampant speculation that was going on social media and further afield, if they'd made some of that evidence known to the public. Because what it did, it created a void, and of course any void of information will be filled by gossip, rumour and speculation, and the more the police said at press conferences, please don't speculate, then I'm afraid that had the exact opposite, because people just did speculate rampantly. And of course, and I'm willing to stand up for some criticism here, but this actually happened. One, Superintendent Riley at one of the press conferences said, please don't speculate. And then in answer to a question from a journalist, she herself did exactly that and speculated as to what she thought might have happened. So, you know, the messaging from Lancashire Police has been pretty poor at times. We know there was that dramatic U-turn after the press conference on Wednesday, and the police will need to look themselves in the mirror long and hard and say, how can we improve the messaging? Because getting messages out to the public is so important, so vital, not only to inform the public, but often to get public assistance. For example, in this case, where the police wanted dash cam footage from vehicles. So the messaging is very, very important, and the police desperately need to get it right in future cases. Otherwise, we're going to see more speculation, a loss of trust, because if the public don't trust the messaging, they might, like in this case, not trust the investigation and then decide they'll go out and carry out their own. Hence, so many people made their way to St Michael's on Wire.
Have you ever seen this kind of messaging from a force before?
I don't think I've seen such ham-fisted messaging over an investigation that's gained such widespread attention. And talking of the conspiracy theorists and the TikTokers and the like, if I may, they're at it again. People are now showing aerial views on social media platforms and saying, well, a vehicle could have parked here, for example. A van could have parked near to this part of the river. This is just rampant speculation once again, which the police have got to be aware of, because they've got to get some strategies as to what they're going to do in the future. And let's just hope that when there is, of course, a post-mortem, that there will be, that information is properly conveyed to the public, it's believed, it's trusted, and finally, perhaps, just finally, this rampant speculation might come to an end, and not before time.
Now, Lancashire Police, we know, I was here on Friday when this news broke that they were going to conduct an internal investigation into their handling of the case. Many saying it shouldn't be internal, it should be outside the force.
Yeah, I think with regards to a review of the investigation, then that most definitely should have been an outside force, but of course that won't be necessary now due to today's very sad news. But in terms of the messaging and the mistakes that were made,